The South African government held its last 2016 International Cooperation, Trade and Security Cluster media briefing on 13 December 2016 at Tshedimosetso House in Hatfield. The cluster presented a quarterly progress report covering up to the end of September 2016. The report is in line with the implementation of medium-term strategic framework on economic diplomacy, trade and tourism. The South African government continues to accelerate its economic diplomacy efforts at the regional, continental and global level. This led to an increasement of sales of manufactured value-added exports by 1.2 billion rand.
This we have achieved by creating new trade opportunities, increasing investments in regional, continental and global markets, and overall deepening economic ties with both new and established trade partners, because we don't necessarily look at the usual ordinary markets that we have been doing business with, but we also continue to look at the new. One of our priorities is to achieve a number of bilateral and multilateral agreements through which we will promote, facilitate and host meetings with potential investors, as well as engaging with various chambers of commerce.
In line with the country's commitment to advancing Agenda 2063 of the African Union, the government continues to prioritize its relations with its sister states. President Jacob Zuma actively engaged his counterparts in cementing bilateral relations with Kenya and Southern African countries.
And the engagements were found they are very invaluable indeed. And they were also about evaluating how far we have come with regards to the regional integration program at a binational level, because we do have binationals with those as well as a part of a multilateral agreement or bilateral agreements. Under consideration is integrated infrastructure, development programs and amongst others, sectors like water, roads, energy, and the movements of goods and services, evaluating trade flows, as well as the movement of people, which includes skills, capacity sharing and development.
The South African government remains firm when it comes to its commitment in contributing to peacekeeping on the continent. A highlight was the involvement of Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa in mediation efforts in Lesotho that brought positive results.
South Africa will also continue to play an active role in the African Union, and in January 2017, President Zuma will be leading a South African delegation to the annual summit of the AU to be held in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Minister can share with us some of the activities there, because they've been already to some preparatory work to be done there, that is being done there.
South Africa proudly and successfully hosted the 2017 Conference of the Parties of the Convention on the International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, also known as COP17.
An important outcome was the recognition of the need to address the underlying causes of the species loss, issues of habitat loss, poverty, human life conflict, lack of enforcement, governance and institutional challenges that we face, and these were raised as issues that needs to be attended to in mid-session.
The South African government continues to be transparent and accountable in proudly serving its people.